Humanity is on the cusp of a colossal shift in understanding, one that will completely rewrite our relationship with reality itself. I'm Leanne Rose, psychotherapist, advisor to some of the world's most influential leaders, and the channel for a structural intelligence known as the Galayla Collective. On this podcast, we explore what becomes possible when consciousness is understood not as a byproduct of the brain, but as the fundamental substance of the universe itself, capable of completely reshaping the material world we live in. Welcome to Consciousness First. Hello, my loves, and welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Consciousness First. In today's episode, we are going to get into the ins and outs of how relationships might be affected from this new realm of awareness, this new superconscious perspective of doing life. See you on the other side. Hello, dear souls. So, relationships. This is the core methodology that we actually showcase superconsciousness to our girl. This is her primary focus for much of her life, this interconnection between other beings. We know that this is a core focus for many of you too. And so we wanted to touch upon this very briefly in our final episode here. In our next series, we are going to deep dive into the ins and outs of relational and business aspects of these pieces. But we are going to keep this very brief, simply to touch upon this, to allow some aspect of this remembrance to awaken in your system before our deep dive in our next season. So, first we want to speak on the issue that we come up against again and again and again. When an individual is ready for a colossal uplevel, the saboteur kicks in. This is a natural part of your coding as an energetic being. There are 4 foundational frequencies that reality is fundamentally set upon, one of which is the saboteur. This is the part of you that is coded to run from expansion. And as we alluded to in earlier episodes, it is an exquisite and beautiful foundational aspect of our third dimensional game. It is not to be demonized. It is a valuable part of the process. But how this plays out in relationships, particularly for those in committed relationships, is that they begin to question whether or not this is the relationship they are actually desiring to be in. Now, we are not to say that sometimes this is exactly the question somebody should be asking. But for those of you here to root into a consciousness first perspective, there is a fundamental piece that needs to be considered. Your energetic field is speaking to you every single second of every single day. It is speaking to you through your 4 energy bodies, your physical body, your mental body, your thought processes, the stories and beliefs that you have about life and yourself, your emotional body, the way that you feel in any given moment, and your spiritual body. Now, many individuals talk about your aura as your spiritual body. We talk about your spiritual body as your external world. For if all is one and all is source, then your external world is simply an extension of your body. This is your spiritual body, your external world. One of the most powerful things that happen when you are on the cusp of an up level is that your energy system begins to speak to you about what needs to be coded out if you are wanting to elevate into a wider expression, a wider experience of life, which essentially is a wider experience of yourself as consciousness, yourself as the all that is. and how your system speaks to you is through your inner realm and your external world. This is your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body speaking to you. It will move through your mental body in terms of questioning relationships, questioning your own self-worth, questioning your path. It will move through your spiritual body through your divine partners, through your friends, through your business associates, through strangers on the street, even through your Instagram feed. For it is all you, your own consciousness speaking to you every single second of every single day. Now, yes, granted, this feels very overwhelming, which is why most of you choose to shut off this idea. Maybe believe that some things are resonant, but most things are not. And again, this is fundamentally because most of you believe that matter is primary, that reality is fixed. You do not fundamentally believe that reality is an extension of you and your own inner field. But let us look at how this plays out in relationships. When you are on the cusp of an up level and what we call phase 2 of the manifestation process begins to make itself known, our energetic field begins to speak to us of codes that need to be written out of our inner realm if we are wanting to expand into greater levels of awareness. This might look like your partner showing up in a way that creates a feeling inside of you that you do not like. Now, at the 3D or even 5D level, what this looks like is my external reality is doing something I do not want it to do. I need to make a decision to change my external world, and this is how I will feel better. And so from this layer, individuals either decide that they need to change up the way they are being in their relationship, or they need to change their relationship. And so they move out of partnership with this person and perhaps get into partnership with somebody else. And before you know it, they are experiencing the exact same patterns with a different person. It is the same frequency showing up with a different face. Why? Because the only thing you ran from was yourself. Because reality is an extension of you. And your partner will inevitably demonstrate a frequency that is alive inside of you. And in phase 2 of the manifestation process, you will be shown which frequencies are no longer serving you. And one of the most profoundly powerful ways that this comes up is in your most intimate personal relationships. Now, in these moments, you have a choice. You have a choice about whether to think small in terms of how can I logically make myself feel better? How can I logically try to change reality through moving blocks about in my third dimensional world? Or you can allow yourself to expand into a much wider perspective of what reality actually is and what your partner actually represents to you in this moment. And you can view it from the lens of superconsciousness. You can view it from the lens that your partner is an aspect of your own energetic field that is presenting you with an opportunity to look at a frequency that is alive within your system. So let us give you an example. Let us say your partner is showing up in a way that makes you feel unloved, or unprioritized, or unseen. We can pretty much guarantee that if you asked your partner how they were feeling about things, they would probably reflect back that they are feeling the same way. Now, this is not for you to then change the way you are in relationship to your partner. Of course, that is a vital aspect, and this is the way that we recode our spiritual body. But first and foremost, we have to identify what our energetic field is communicating to us about what is present in our own energetic field. If your partner is behaving in a way that makes you feel unloved, it is because fundamentally, internally, there is a frequency alive within you of being unloved. And the invitation here is not to try to force your partner to love you or to move away from your partner because they are making you feel unloved. The invitation here is to look at the aspect of your own energetic field that is needing for you to love yourself. Now, this is the age-old rhetoric, is it not? But it is this for a reason. It is cliche for a reason because it is true. Your relationships will reflect the relationship you have with yourself, dear ones. And those of you that run from relationship to relationship, finding the same patterns with different flavors, but still the same patterns, you must accept that what you are running from is yourself. And those of you that are single and desiring to be in a partnership, but there is no partner that is being manifest in your life, must come to the conclusion that some part of you does not want a partner. We took a beautiful individual through this delectable experience not so long ago, where she was consciously telling herself, I want a partner, I want a partner. Why is this not happening for me? I want a partner, I want a partner. But when we moved into our energetic field, there was a sphere of energy. Now, when we asked her what she felt in her own energy body, she could see the top half of the sphere in her solar plexus, but we could see the bottom half. The piece she could see was glowing and wonderful. The piece we could see was in darkness. And so we asked her to place her awareness upon this piece that she could not see. As she did this, the light inside of her solar plexus began to extend into this area of darkness. And the tears came as she began to realize how much she had been protecting herself from actually being in love again because of a devastating, heartbreaking experience of being rejected in love. So although consciously she was saying, I want love, her energetic field was fiercely defending against it. From this point, she could then begin to recognize where her energetic field had been defending her from any advances from men in her field, only attracting individuals that she did not actually want to be in relationship with. And it was not long after this session that suddenly it became clear that there was a man waiting for her all along that she had been guarded against, that she had not allowed in, that was ready and waiting, and they are now engaged to be married. And that took less than a year. This is how quickly things can transform when we are working with the true source signature of what is happening within you, and we are recognizing that is what is creating the reality around you. The girl is living proof of where she could not commit to her own self, and therefore her partner could not commit either. And it was only when she recognized this energetic signature, retuned it, that 3 weeks later he asked for her ring size, and they are now engaged to be married. And there are even more juicy aspects to this coming online for her as she dives deeper and deeper and deeper into deeper frequencies that come up between the two of them. And when contrast arises, she does not run, for she knows that this is what divine intimacy truly is. This is what sacred union really is. It is seeing the other through the lens of the God self, honoring that the pieces they bring are a vital part of each other's growth and evolution. And it is through allowing yourself to move through this from the set point of we are consciousness playing and exploring itself through infinite angles, and we are choosing each other in every moment. The true love blossoms. And not only the individual that is consciously bringing these pieces in transforms, but the partner that you are playing with also transforms with you. The colossal shifts we have witnessed with these two have been transformational, incredible, and almost impossible to believe at times. This is available for each and every one of you, dear souls, when you really and truly commit to the truth that the source of reality is you. And when you can master you can master life. So, closing down this season, we are in gratitude for the time that you have spent with us, and we are in joy and excitement for the juiciness that will be season 2, where we truly guide you through some structural recoding elements that can help you put this stuff into practice. Sending you oodles of love. Until next time, goodbye. All right, my loves. So there you have it. That is the end of season 1 of Consciousness First. We will be back before you know it with season 2, where we're going to deep dive into some of the practical applications of this stuff. We're also going to break down some of the most powerful results that we've had, such as the beautiful lady who changed the law, those individuals that have literally transformed marriages on the brink of divorce to beautiful safe havens for intimacy, those individuals that have transformed their connection to their own spiritual gifts, and of course, the individuals that have created millions, because we all want to know how to do that. So, goodbye from me. Goodbye from the Galayla Collective. We will see you in season 2. Bye. Thanks for listening, my loves. The GC would love to share this information as far and wide as possible. So if you leave us a review and tag us on social media, we would love to give you access to one of our favorite immersive experiences. This is a huge favorite amongst our clients, and it's been at the heart of many of our most insane client results, and my own, to be honest. You can find out more about that in the show notes below. Oodles of love. We'll see you next time.